Hey Michele, so I'm going to make some videos for you demonstrating the proper movements and how to perform them for your shoulder health. So we're going to start off with just relaxing your shoulder through the pendulum, which I demonstrated before with you. So you're going to hold on to something, get down as flat as you can with your back, and then just swing up and down for a count of 10. 4, 5, 6, 7. Trying to really focus on letting the shoulder gravitate by itself. Then we're going to perform circles for 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and reverse. Keeping the back flat. Taking big breaths, and then doing the same thing for the other shoulder. Once both the shoulders feel like they're relaxed, then you can start to strengthen them and warm them up through the joint mobilization that we went over earlier. So I'm going to start with my shoulders. Let's start off with your shoulder that's a little bit better, which is your right shoulder. We're going to start off with some flexion, going into abduction and slowly rotating it internally as we go in extension. And reversing that into flexion, abduction, and internal rotation. Performing this also for a 10 count. Taking big breaths. Here I am using my other hand to focus on big belly breaths. After a 10 count, then we'll perform it on your weaker shoulder. As we went over, I'm really focusing here on performing not as much movement, but the same quality of movement. So with your shoulder on the left side, we're looking for a little bit of flexion, internal rotation, abduction, putting the arm back, scooping it out, and reversing. Big inhales, big exhales. We're performing that for 10s. Something to keep in mind performing all these movements is my shoulders should be back, my butt is flexed if I can, and my spine is long. The next movement we're performing are shoulder blade circles. So let's go for your right side first. Back, up, forward, down. Compress, elevate, protract, depress. And we're performing this for 10. Something to keep in mind here is making sure that we're not going so much forward and back with our hands, because that means we're using our shoulders, which is okay in bigger movements, but for the smaller movement and these isolation movements, we're looking for just the shoulder blade. We'll give you a side view, back, elevate, protract, down, back, and then reversing, starting off with forward, up, back, down, forward, up, back, down. 10 on each side, reverse and the other way, and the same thing with the other shoulder blade. The shoulder blades are really important because they guide how our shoulders are going to move. If we have tight shoulder blades, our shoulders will also be tight. And then reversing for 10 after you pick one side, making sure the rest of the body isn't moving. All right, so we have our shoulders, we have our shoulder blades. Let's go on to neck. Take some big breaths, inhaling as we come up nice and slowly, and exhaling as we go down nice and slowly. depending on how you're feeling. If you're going a little bit dizzy, make sure you take a little bit of break, take a big breath. Switch to the other side for 5 to 10. And one more for the elbows. We're pretending like we're curling. We're going to bring our wrists forward, facing down, and then imagine you're just pushing down. Same thing. After 10, you reverse it. So imagine like your palms are up, push down, and now with your palms facing down, you bicep curl. All right, so now that we have our warm-up, now it's time to do some more specific strength work. And we'll start with your upright rows. So you're grabbing your rows, your bands. Hopefully you bought those, hopefully they came in. If not, you can use the current bands that you have. You're grabbing them, taking a few steps back. By now, since you've been training for a few weeks with these rows, you should be able to progress even further. I'm taking a few steps back, and first you check your posture, check your breathing. I'm bringing my shoulder blades back first, and then bringing the elbows back. Reverse it, elbows forward, shoulder blades forward. The goal here with strength training is to do 3 to 5 sets, and for repetition count with the bands for about 15 to 20. Over time, you want to start to get more resistance and lessen the repetitions to about 10 to 12. After you get your upright rows for 1 set, then you can go into a low plank. It'd be a really great idea to start transitioning from core movements to upper body movements. So, here we have a core movement after upper body movement, and we're looking for a plank. So, I'm looking for my elbows to be right underneath my shoulder and the rest of my body to be straight while I take big breaths. So, common faults are here and here. We're trying to avoid those two. So, we're looking for this almost straight position and taking big breaths. Focus on the breathing, focus on keeping that upright position as if you were standing upright. When you get your plank really good and really strong, you'll feel like your upper posture is much better. All right, so we have our strength training, we have our upper body, we have our core. You can interchange those for a few rounds. Then for your second circuit, we're going to do bent over rows and do some glute bridges. If you have some strong glutes and lower body position, your upright posture will also improve. So we'll start this time with our low body. All right. My hands are on my stomach and my chest. I'll practice some breaths first. I'm coming up as high as I can, squeezing my butt, then bringing it down. We're also going for a repetition count here of at least 20. If you feel like it's easier to go to 20, what you can start to add is a 5 pound to 10 pound weight right on your hips as you go up and down. The second movement for that current circuit strength in our upright row, we'll bend over on the bench, keeping as flat of a back as possible and as horizontal as possible. If we're doing a row here, it's going to be tough to target the back. It's more of the shoulders and the traps, which we're not trying to target as of yet. We're just looking for that upper back position. So I'm holding onto the bench, and then I'm going for a row. Same thing as we did before. Last time we used the 7-pounder, I believe, and we're bringing our shoulder blade back and our elbow back, keeping the elbow close to us. So big breath, shoulder blade and elbow. Big breath. And again, go for a count of 15 to 20. Switch sides and go again for sets of 3 to 5. So, I hope that was really informative for you. At the end of your workout, you can go for a little bit of a stretch, which a good one for you would be the neck one against the door frame. Hold that for 20 seconds or so. Switch sides. And then a little gentle chest stretch, which you could do in the same fashion, just holding the door frame and then coming out. Just taking a little bit of a step out and holding this for a few seconds. So I hope that helped you a lot. Give me all your questions. I'll keep on sending you videos. We have a lot of time with this quarantine. So I will talk to you soon and stay healthy.